This is Jim Nailon, liturgical guitarist. I'm going to share my arrangement of the new hymn Christ the Lord by Sarah Hart and Robert Feduccia. I'll play through it first and then I'll talk about it. Page 2. Makes a very gentle guitar arrangement. Be nice for playing before Mass. Now I capoed it on the first fret because that's the key that it's written in. So I didn't indicate that on my sheet music, but I am playing it that way, and it'll make it a little easier for you to get some of the stretches here. I can measure 12. So let's start it, and we'll just go through the sheet music. And now I fingered this. When I play it myself. Now I was trying to play it like the fingering, but I like to play it. And I do a lot more with these three fingers because I can get the fingertips in there easier than I can with these three. But I figure most people don't play the A chord like I do, and you'll be more comfortable with the fingering that I settled here with. So okay. Anyway, D chord. And another thing about this arrangement is most of my arrangements I tend to arrange in a style that's my usual playing styles. And this one I had to break out of that because it just didn't work. And so I have to look at this note by note and to try and stay with it. So it doesn't fit. It's not quite like anything I've ever arranged before. So starting on D chord, and then the D major 7th, then G over D, and then an A over D, But on that, you want to make sure that your melody is nice and loud, and the bass is and the middle voice are more subdued. You don't want to play everything all the same volume. It doesn't sound good. So keep the melody strong and the other notes subdued. Line 2, measure 5, D again, same notes. But now I have one more eighth note there in that measure on the D major 7th, the open G, and then the G over D is same thing with an extra eighth note at the end, and then the A over D, and then the A bass. Now you're playing a D. That's another thing. Most of my arrangements, I play the full chords all the time, and I'm just picking off the full chords. Here I'm using just partial chords, like where it says a D. I'm not playing the second fret of the first string. And I'm going to use that finger that it would normally be there to reach over and grab this F sharp bass, or the second fret of the 6th string. And then slide that to the 3rd fret for this G major 7th. We're in measure 9, start of the 2nd line here. This is a bit of a, it'll open your hand up a little bit. It's not really a stretch, because you got 4 fingers covering 4 frets. That doesn't qualify as a real stretch, but it'll open your hand up a bit. And you're keeping you're kind of droning the open strings here on the 2nd and 3rd strings. So your little finger has to reach up onto the 5th fret of the 1st string, and then slide up to the 7th fret and grab the 4th string bass, open 4th string, and then on the G over B, we're gonna play it up there again on the would be what, the 7th fret. Yeah, where am I at? 7th fret. But I'm playing the F sharp on the 7th fret of the 2nd string. I'm not playing it back here. I'm playing it up here, and then I play the B on the 7th fret of the 6th string, and then I can glissando down to this A7, and I'm playing this, 3 and 2, because you're coming off. You're sliding on this 3rd finger, so it makes more sense to. The little finger plays the melody line, and then you're gonna slide. You're going to slide up on your 3rd finger to go to the D chord. You're playing like this on the A, on these 2 notes, and you slide like that, and your 1st finger comes in where your 2nd finger was, on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. You want to get that little motion down. Because you need the 2nd finger, again, to grab that F sharp, to lead you into the G major 7th again. Same thing. But now we're going to slide all the way down with our 3rd finger to the 2nd fret, and you can glissando that. And when you glissando, you need to keep a lot of pressure on this string, or on the fret, on the fingerboard, and the string. Because if you just slide down, you lose all your sound. So you got to dig in with that finger. And then 1st and 2nd finger play on the A, and then little finger goes way up here and catches the 5th fret. And then the D. And then this little little slide that I like to use a lot on the from the 3rd fret to the 7th fret on the 2nd string, and then grab the A note up there with the 1st finger on the 5th fret of the 1st string. And then we're going to do some on the 8th, 7th. The 1st finger plays the 7th fret of the 1st string, 2nd finger on the 8th fret of the 2nd string, and the open D. And then you're going to drone the G here with your 1st finger. Slide that up 2 frets, and then open it up with the 1st and 3rd finger, with your 1st finger on the 10th fret and your 3rd finger on the 12th fret, which in this case I'm on the 11th and 13th fret because I'm capoed 1. But anyway. And you can, if you can get some glissando. Slide that on that 1st finger down all the way to the 2nd fret from the 10th fret and bring your 2nd finger over to the G bass on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, 6th string, 3rd fret of the 6th string. And here's where you have to make a jump. Now, your 3rd finger's gonna play on this F sharp over A sharp. So you're going from this to this. So you want to practice that shift a lot so you can get it fast. And then as time, you have an 8th note to get to each of the next 2 notes. Your 3rd finger comes down on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, and your little finger plays the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. And lift off the open 1st string, and then slide into a B minor with the open 1st string. And then keep your 1st finger down on the B there. Don't lift that off. And then go to the E minor 7th. Put your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Just follow the notes there. The melody goes. Let's see. This little A sus4. And all you need to do is play like you're doing an A7 sus4, because you're not going to hit the 3rd string here, so don't worry about it. And then you're into the little turnaround here between verses. A D chord, partial D. Nothing hard about that. Just try and let the melody note ring its full three beats there. The D, the A, the C sharp. And then the second verse is almost the same thing with just a few little variations. So we're up to the top, page 2, measure 21. Starts out just the same. Here's the only difference. Instead of the first verse, it had a bass run like this. Here you go off the G and then the F sharp with your 2nd finger. Push hard and just slide it down. Or you could pull off if you want. Use your 3rd finger and 1st finger. But I like to slide it. 2nd line, same thing. And again, the only difference here is in the last note, or 2 notes. Before it went, now it's going to with a hammer on there. Hit the open 6th string and then hammer on the 2nd fret. Then go into your G major 7th. This is the same. That little trick there, sliding into the G, and with the F sharp. Let's see. Now, so you slide your little finger down to the E minor there. I'm on the E minor, the end of the 3rd measure there in that line. Now I'm going to play on the A. Instead of putting my first 2 fingers down, 1st and 2nd there, I'm going to put my 2nd and 3rd fingers down. And that allows me to do a little different riff here. Slide. So I'm going to slide on my 2nd finger now on the 3rd string up to the 6th fret, and then put my 1st finger down on the 5th fret of the 1st string. And then play my D up here. And then the open 1st string, and then the 1st finger on the 3rd string, and then my 1st finger plays the 5th fret, and then I'm back into the same thing here. The 3rds, glissando down to the F, or down to the. Actually, it's a G major 7th there. That's measure 33, the last note there, and then I change to that F sharp over A, the B minor. That's all the same. The E minor, and then I just add this little hammer on. That's the only difference there, is that hammer on that 3rd measure. And the ending's the same. It's such a gentle piece that I like to end it really soft. So that's all I have on that one. I think Sarah Hart's probably becoming my, definitely, if not my favorite, one of my favorite Christian composers and Catholic composers now. So whenever she puts out a song, I have to look. I arranged You Alone, but I can't share it because OCP doesn't own all the copyright. They own half of it, so I'd have to get an arrangement with Word Publishing, and that would be very expensive. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to publish that arrangement. But this one's a lovely hymn. The words are fantastic. If you don't know this hymn, check it out. It's a great one for Second Coming. Really, really powerful words. There's a neat video on YouTube of an interview. If you search Christ the Lord, you'll see an interview where Steve Angrisano's interviewing the 2 composers, and you'll hear how it was written. It's really, really fun. And then you'll hear Sarah Hart sing it. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Look for more arrangements on liturgicalguitarist.com. I pray God blesses your playing, and I wish you peace.